Hello, if you are new here, my name is Mackenzie. I am a graduate student at Hiroshima University getting my master's degree. During this video, I want to share some pros and cons about pursuing a master's degree in Japan, and I'll try to make the content of this video not so specific to Japan, just so you can get a feel about what you may be encountering no matter where you decide to potentially get a master's degree. So, let's begin. One of the biggest pros is that you do get a high quality education. First, if you are pursuing a graduate school degree at all, you should give yourself a pat on the back, but there's a different level of achievement if you decide to complete your graduate school education in a different country. Instead of being part of an education system that you are accustomed to, you are challenging yourself academically in a different country's curriculum. Typically, because not many people are pursuing graduate school degrees abroad, you do have a smaller cohort of students that you begin your degree with. Because of that, you do have a more personal experience with your professors and supervisors who can eventually write letters of recommendation or just give me career advice, or who can open up my mind for future career opportunities. Another pro is that you get a unique international experience. Your professors will typically be from foreign countries that are not your own country. Most of my professors are Japanese, but I will say that all of my professors have studied abroad and done research abroad a lot. One of my professors has done research in India and she speaks Hindi. My supervisor has done research in the Philippines. One professor, she's Japanese, but she did complete one master's degrees in Colombia. I have professors who have studied in Africa, Australia. So even though they are Japanese, I feel like that then allows me to become educated, not just from them as a Japanese person, but also from the countries that they have studied and worked in as well, which is absolutely so valuable to shaping my worldview. Additionally, with my classmates, I have never met somebody from Russia before, but one of the coolest guys I have ever met. Meeting classmates from different countries is also extremely valuable. I have 3 really close friends here. One is from Egypt, the other's from Austria, and the other's from Mongolia. You can make many friendships, and you can also learn so much from each other about each other's countries, about the world in general from these programs. A master's degree in a different country is great for something that you can put on your CV or your resume. If you are in an interview and somebody sees that you got a degree from a different country, they're automatically going to want to ask you questions about that. International experience is definitely very valuable, especially if you want to have a career in the United Nations or an NGO or any government organization. Another strong pro is that master's degrees abroad typically have a lot lower tuition, and it's a lot more affordable than what you would see in the United States. I feel like for most people, the barrier to pursuing higher education is the cost. I know there was absolutely no way that I would be able to pursue a graduate school degree in the US without a lot of student loans. That was one of the biggest reasons why I decided to study in Japan, and still, that is one of the biggest reasons why I'll always recommend looking at getting a master's degree abroad. Your home country will typically have government scholarships that will either cover tuition and living cost while abroad, which obviously helps out so much. Some of these graduate schools have tuition waivers. It's not a loan, it's not anything that you have to repay. You just apply and then they just waive your tuition. Simple as that. I am applying for tuition waivers at my university. I haven't heard back yet. Hopefully I do soon. The last pro that I want to mention is that you have an extreme amount of personal and academic growth while pursuing a graduate school degree in a different country. You are really stretching your mind in different ways that you never would have done before. And honestly, I still can't comprehend it myself because I'm still completing my program, but whenever my parents and my friends talk to me, they're like, wow, like she's really doing this. And to me, I'm still like, this is just normal to me because I mean, I have to finish this degree. If you're at the point in your life when you really just want to challenge yourself and shoot for the stars, this is something that you should try to do. Now, moving on to the cons, probably one of the biggest ones, and this is one that I'm working on, is the language barrier. So I'm a native English speaker, and typically for native English speakers, Japanese is one of the hardest languages for us to learn, just because the sentence structure and the hiragana, katakana, kanji, so different, but still manageable. I'm still learning every day. Whenever I go to the bank, I obviously have to try to use Japanese. I recently had a health checkup and I tried to speak Japanese. It was very challenging. Just be prepared that you will have to use Japanese first, and don't just depend on people knowing English, especially when you are in their country. Any Japanese is good, but the more the better. This applies for any country that you may be studying in. I also want to mention though, if you are pursuing a graduate school degree in a different country, your university will help you out a lot to adjust. My university helped me get a Japanese phone number, a credit card, helped me sign all of my apartment contracts. I was given a student supporter to help me get my tuition in order. I was also given help on how to sign up for health insurance. So even for the things that seem impossible to complete, don't worry about that. You will get help. Another con, but I would say this one is it's not like a hard con, it's just something to be aware of. The punctuality aspect is a little bit different. They do recognize that we have jobs. Some of us, not me, some of my classmates have kids and spouses and families that they have to support. Just don't make it a habit of being inappropriately late. Another thing that I want to mention is that whenever I do have group work with my classmates, keep in mind you are working with people from other countries. Some cultures may have different ways in how they express themselves. You may find it as rude or offensive, or you may have people that are more reserved and you don't understand where they're coming from. Not everybody's gonna act the way that you act in your own home country. And at the end of the day, embrace it, because you're only gonna be with these people for a few years or just a year, depending on your program. So I feel like if anything, it's more beneficial that you look at what you admire about them as opposed to what you don't like about them. I have greatly enjoyed working with all of the people in this program. One of my biggest cons that I actually do hope that you have stayed this long to the video to listen to is that, and this may be either just specific to my university or maybe Japan, but keep in mind where your apartment is in relation to your university. Unfortunately, the way it is set up at Hiroshima University, international students are not necessarily given first choice for the dorms at the university. So because of that, I have about a 35-minute walk to school every day, or I can take the bus. But unfortunately, because my bus is in a rural area of Japan, the bus only comes every hour and a half. And from the hours of maybe 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., there's just no bus. And yes, that's really challenging because Japan gets hot. So in the summer, it's I'm drenched in sweat, and now it's the winter, so I'm freezing cold whenever I walk home. My bike broke, so just struggling a little bit, but I would recommend try to get something as close to the university as possible. But if you cannot get close to your university, I would recommend being close to a train station or a bus stop. I have to travel very far distances for shopping, for restaurants, for meeting up with my friends, which definitely sucks sometimes. So don't be like me, do better than me. But other than that, it's really been great during my time here in Japan. I am so sorry, y'all. I have one final con that I have to talk about. And that is just the fact that you are away from your family, your friends, and your home. When I first arrived in Japan, maybe the second week after I came here, I really thought that I would have to drop out because I was feeling so lonely and I was feeling so homesick, and I have never felt that way in my life. Since then, things have changed dramatically, and 1 year into my program, I do feel like I can finish. I feel like I can graduate, but it's very hard. There's some times when I'm from Texas, there are times that I want a taco. There's times I want a carne asada taco. There's times that I want Whataburger. There's times that I want Chipotle. And that's just food. But really the biggest thing is there are times that I just want to be around my parents. I miss my parents. I miss my best friends from home so much. But I'm realizing now that the time that I have abroad, I really want to make more valuable, not just for myself, but for my friends and my family. Most of my friends and family have plans to visit me when I graduate. So in that way, I feel like I'll have a full circle moment in allowing them to enjoy what I've gotten to enjoy for these past 2 years. Yes, I miss my family so much, but thankfully I can call them, I can text them, I see them on social media all the time, and home is always there. That pretty much wraps up my pros and cons video that I wanted to detail today. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. I would love to answer any of the questions that you may have. And thanks for watching.